Hello, my name is Shuttley, and welcome back to another episode of Victory as Prussia. In previous episode, we just mostly set up the basic things. We are losing quite a bit of money. Of course, we don't have the higher taxes currently on. We can turn those on at some point in the not too distant future to reduce at least some of the deficit. We do also... Oh, right, Krupp is losing prosperity, which is not great. We do have... Oh. Ah, right, we don't have a leader over here. Right, I'm gonna get the... maybe the defensive strategist in here. We'll give that a promotion to command the entire army. So that was the ruler dying. Also that one. We've still got a decent standard of living at 10.4. Well, of course, you know, it could be a lot higher than that, but it's early game, so it can't really be too harsh. Ooh, we can invite someone to the power block. I'm guessing that's Hamburg. Yes. Cohesion is going to have a bit of impact there, but I will bring them in nonetheless. And there we go. Now they should be part of our market. They are indeed. So that reduces some of the trade routes that we had, which we do not need anymore. I'm guessing those were already taken care of, though. There's also... we don't necessarily need that trade right now. And since we are kind of trying to produce some of our own luxury clothing, that's not really making a lot of money. And we have not gotten the militia shipyards in Pomerania yet, but we are working on that one. Do we not? Oh, we don't have any other construction underway. So that's why we're not losing too much money. The fertilizer plant will be completed soon enough, so after that it's going to be... I suppose. Let's have a look at the market real quick. So silk is in a very high demand. Tea is in pretty high demand as well, although the actual buy orders there is basically nothing. There's no tea available in the market, that's the problem. Fertilizers, we do need a bit more, but we also need a bit more iron. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and build another iron mine over here in Silesia. And did we... no, we didn't move the road maintenance in here yet. It's in Brandenburg, isn't it? Yeah. So let's move that to Pomerania. So we can get the manor walls being built a little bit. Ooh, looks like we got torrential rain in down here. So that's going to... actually, how much is that impacting? Ooh, it's a bit... it's also reducing the infrastructure quite a bit, which is a bit of a problem. It's not a permanent problem, luckily. Ooh, grassroots support for the laws. Oh, yeah, we'll take the 20% chance there, and the armed forces getting a bit more popularity, which is really nice. London calling. The unsettled nature of Belgian-Dutch relations have threatened European stability ever since 1830. A conference to settle the issue for good has now been called in London, where the great powers of Europe all invited to arbitrate. Sure, we'll go in there. And so now we get to choose which one to support. Now, we do already have a fairly good relationship with the Dutch. So we might... so there's a four option. There's the favored Belgian claims. Belgium has received the provinces of Limburg and Luxembourg in full. In order to compensate the Netherlands will... for the loss of the two provinces, Belgium must assume the total public debt of the former United Kingdom of the Netherlands. Or with the Dutch, they get both Limburg and Luxembourg in full. And then they need to take on the debt of the United Kingdom of the Netherlands. Which actually, I wonder, how much is that going to be? Okay, I don't know. Then there's the 24 points. Which Limburg and Luxembourg will partition between Belgium and the Netherlands. In order to compensate the German Federation for the loss of Western Luxembourg. Limburg will be established as a Dutch subject, as a nominal member of the German Confederation. So that could kind of benefit us a little bit. Or alternate partition, Belgium will retain the entire province of Limburg in exchange for Netherlands receiving the entirety of Luxembourg. I think I'm going to favour the Dutch claims though, because we've got good relation with the Dutch already. We can potentially turn them into a future ally for us, at least for the time being. Now, admittedly, if we were going for a full-on world conquest and all that, we would not support that necessarily. Oh, what's this then? Defensive power with Mecklenburg Strelitz. I don't think that's really needed. So I'm not going to decline that. I don't really want to use up all my influence. What I do want to do, though, is perhaps go ahead and improve relations with someone. I could improve relations with Sweden, actually. Just so that I can potentially use Sweden as a weapon against Denmark, I suppose. I don't know if that is going to be the case, mind you, but maybe, just maybe. We've still got the silk shortage. I'm guessing we're not really going to get enough through the land trade routes. Ooh, rifling spreading. Ooh, and there we go. Isn't it romantic? Art Academy of Brandenburg has experienced an increased interest in the Romantic movement, with some of our greatest artists producing genuine masterpieces. So, we can get Art Academy building throughput for 5 years plus 20%, or we can get 3,500 points for the realism. And I'm going to go with that one, because we need to get a lot of the research done as soon as possible, or as, you know, as short time as possible, rather. So that's going to be a bit of a problem there. We are now losing quite a bit of money, so I'm going to increase attackers. It will reduce the legitimacy even further, which is going to start having higher and higher issues here. But I think that's at least going to allow us to continue with the construction work. And Pomerania still hasn't gotten the naval shipyard there. The iron mine is going to be quite nice. Where do we have... I suppose we've got some construction sectors up here, don't we? Actually, no, we don't. What about in Ruhr? No. There's the easier way to check that. It's just go through the building list, isn't it? So we've got Rhineland, Brandenburg, and Silesia. So Brandenburg, does that have iron available? No. And then there was the Ruhr? No? Hold on a minute. Rhineland, sorry. So that's got some in there. We cannot get iron mines in there either. So I suppose Silesia is probably going to be the best bet to reduce the construction cost at least a little bit. Although I suppose in our capital, if we were to get a logging camp in here, that would reduce at least some of the construction costs. Not really massively, but it will probably help regardless. So let's get that underway. So there's now 3 buildings being built. And actually that iron mine will be built faster than the military shipyard. Now to be fair, it is getting a bit more of the production in any case. Oh, we can do another mandate. Right, let's go and switch for the internal trade too. So company building throughput is increased by 10%. And then tariffs on imports outside power block is increased and export outside power block is increased. We get more infrastructure and we get more convoys. So I think that's going to be fine. We'll try to get a bit more self-sufficient in the long run. Although right now that's not really going to happen, I reckon. I'm guessing we might have a bit more trade routes that are unprofitable. I'm going to cancel the man of war trade already. We do have a decent bit of bureaucracy. Well, so we do have the shortage, of course, right now, but the military shipyard is only going to take another 3 months before it's built, so it's not going to be that bad. We still need a lot more silk, though, and I don't suppose there's an easy way for me to get more. Not land routes, anyway. We could import some from the British market, I suppose. Maybe, at least. And the iron mine in Silesia will be done fairly shortly. And the logging camp will start building. I suppose that's one of the things. In Rhineland, we could build a logging camp, at least, to reduce the construction cost. Because we do still use a decent bit of wood in here, although it's not quite as much as the iron. It's still a decent amount. Now, we can't have... Right, so I suppose if we want to get a lot of fabric, I guess the livestock branches are going to be our best bet on doing that. Of course, those are going to require more grain, so that's not really going to be all that helpful. Because, speaking of grain, how much do we have a shortage of that right now? We've got another 600. Let's go ahead and build up another... I guess rye farms will be... Well, maybe we'll get a wheat farm. That's a bit of a change of pace there. Ryan will get one, and then we'll maybe get a rye plantation as well. Or a rye farm, rather, not plantation. Brandenburg will get another one. That's going to reduce the costs there. And then, I suppose, wasn't over here? That had the food industries, wasn't it? Yes, it does. Okay, so reducing the grain costs there a bit further will then make those more profitable. So what's the private sector saving up right now? It's trying to save for furniture manufacturing. Whether that is going to be the case, that will, or what, whether that's going to be the building being built remains to be seen. But we did get the iron mine already in Silesia, so that should at least reduce some of the costs. We could always go ahead and enable privatization on that. I don't know if they'll have the money to buy it. Probably not yet. But that will give us at least the money directly back, so that's kind of useful in that sense. Once it's purchased. But it might take a good while. But the military shipyard is almost completed, so that's good. Ooh, and we now have dedicated police force. Let's go and give that another level. So we'll get that to level 2. We could have that to level 5 already. That might be a little bit too far. So each level is about 140 bureaucracy. That's good to know. Good to keep in mind. Oh, a lot of them are supporting the 24 points. Okay, I mean, I'm not necessarily opposed to that. But that will be concluding very shortly. There we go. Now we're getting a bit of money because, right, some other construction just completed. And the mana wars are now underway, or being produced, so that's good. I'm guessing we are getting a little bit of silk now. We're getting about 16.5 through the trade routes, which all of them are quite tiny trade routes, mind you. But that is at least a good thing. Now, I believe if we can get all of Austria, is there silk? There are silk plantations over here in Venetian. Well, Venetia, so that's going to be quite nice, actually. We've still got quite a bit of improving of relations going on, including with Sweden and Britain. Actually, we are still funding Hamburg. I think we can actually go ahead and stop the bankrolling. I don't know if we got the obligation there. Oh, we did. Let's stop that one then. That's going to give us a bit more influence. So that's at least going to be quite nice. We did get the... Right, that's in Rhineland. Let's move the road maintenance down there then. That's going to give us a little bit more speed on construction for these... well, okay, we got the logging camp there already, so now it's going to be the rye farm in Brandenburg that is going to be built after the wheat farm. But we are getting a logging camp in North Rhine. Okay, not bad. And National should be already completed. There we go, that's a bit more authority. So we could potentially put in another... Oh. Right, the London Conference concludes. The conference has concluded and decided the partition of the partition, the disputed area between the Netherlands and Belgium, dividing both Luxembourg and Limburg. Oh, we start guaranteeing independence of Belgium. Okay, so that takes a little bit of the influence we have. So this is... Ah, right, so Limburg and then Luxembourg is over here. So is Luxembourg... They've got their own market by the looks of it. But they are subject of Netherlands. Good to know. And then, of course, there's Limburg over here, which is part of the Dutch market. And it is a subject as well. Well, that's fair. Right, so we are actually, even though we are constructing things, we're still making... well, okay, we're not making a lot of money. We might want to put in another consumption tax in here. I suppose the class tax will be enough to make us a little bit of coin. It's all, you know, a bit of surplus at least going on. Right, is that all of the... Okay, I think it might be time for us to start building a bit of navy. We're going to go ahead and just start building some ships here. We'll go probably for the 4 frigates and 1 man-of-war approach. So there's plenty of light ships for the screening for the big ships. But we will need to build that fleet a lot larger than that. But that's at least the first start on increasing the size of that. And so another thing that we could maybe do is build up another university. I suppose Westphalia is going to be quite important for the industries. So getting a university in there just to get the qualifications slightly faster will then allow them to hire more people in here. We've got the motor industries and we've got the railway in here. That's another thing, of course. We could start building a railway, for example, to Ruhr. Is there? Yeah, there's plenty of transportation there right now. So if we were to build a railway in Ruhr, that will probably help us a little bit further. But there we go. There's a lot of things being built right now. Actually, what we should probably do is move the road maintenance down to... I guess we'll put that to Brandenburg for now. And then once we build the farm there, we'll move that to Pomerania. So we can build the naval bases a bit faster. Or with less construction dedicated to them directly, I suppose. Relations improving with Hanover has expired and Great Britain. Okay, so now if we have a look at the attack on Denmark, just any attacker, we don't actually need to really take anything. Okay, so Britain is more likely to still support Denmark. France is more likely to support Denmark as well. That could be pretty bad. So we don't actually want to attack them quite yet. We got a little bit unlucky with the stuff in here. We've got poor relations. Do they have any... No, they don't have any also guaranteeing the independence or anything like that, at least. I do wonder, though, if we were to push for the liberation for Holstein, liberate subject, they got a 30% chance that they might accept that. There's still a chance that... so this is, again, it's Holstein, but Denmark's going to be taking the control of this war, so that's not really going to give us a accurate counting of the numbers in here, so we're not going to try to declare the war yet, because that is probably going to go very badly for us. We also probably want to increase the size of our military a little bit. Let's actually go ahead and do that, shall we? I'll take the second army, that's the biggest one. Put in a couple artillery in there. I do actually wonder, where do we have artillery foundries? Got arms industry there. And arms industry in Silesia as well. Ah, okay, so Westphalia's got some artillery foundries. And Ruhr's got artillery foundries. Or one each. Okay, so let's go ahead and just... it probably doesn't matter that much. We've got still fairly good laws. Or, well, actually, let me double check. I believe we've got interventionism, yes. And then, of course, we are no longer in traditionalism and all that. We do have also the tech, I believe. The... Is the stock exchange? Yes. So we won't really get any that much higher than that. So I suppose it doesn't really matter that much in the end. So let's just go ahead and get the second army. We'll increase the artillery size a little bit. Also, we should probably upgrade the cavalry. But we'll go ahead and get at least... I suppose Anhalt will do. Get 2 artillery over there. That will get us to a good 60 battalions on that one. We'll need to increase the armies even further, of course, but that's at least, you know, a small increase. We do need to be not necessarily the #1 in terms of army size, but we need to be the #1 in army quality, so we want to get a lot of artillery for our armies. Go on, right, let's move the road maintenance down to Pomerania. That will speed up the construction over here. And now there's all that is being built right now. Which are actually, well, right, we are going to be losing a bit of money probably soon enough, but we are still at least positive. Actually, no, we're not losing money. It's a bit of a surprise. The Dutch want a defensive pact. You know what, I will take that. But then, of course, another thing that I might need to do, Bremen. Could I get the embassy? You might accept that. If we give them... No, okay, so unless we give them the obligation, they won't accept that. I do actually wonder, is there anyone else that we could get the embassy? Oh, we're going to get Egypt. Ooh. Oh, we could actually get one in Hamburg, sure. You know what, Egypt? Sure. Yeah, an embassy for you. Maybe we can get Egypt into that market. Or the power block. That would be kind of interesting, to say the least. But yeah, so we're getting the flotillas already built up. That is going to take a while before we get the full benefit out of it, of course, but that's fine. And then we're getting the University in Westphalia to increase our innovation a bit further. And the railway in Ruhr and then a bit of barracks. That should be fine. What's the private sector doing? They're funding a textile mill in North Rhine. I suppose that's good. Russia is importing iron from our market to theirs. Level 6, so that's quite a bit of it. And we can't improve relations with Sweden any further. Could I get an alliance with them? No, is there anyone that I could, like a significant size nations that I could get alliance with? Well, there's a lot of the tiny ones. But not really. Well, I suppose... Ooh. Oh. If we give obligations to Britain, we could get them as an ally, which means that they would then not join the war against Denmark. I'm going to take it. It does mean that we give them an obligation, but still, that's fine. So now they've got that. We got the flotilla increasing. We could go ahead and then go ahead and push for the liberate subtrain. We don't actually want to take anything from them currently. But that means that, yeah, they won't be really getting that much help. So the 30% chance that they will already accept that. Push for that. Growing frustrations. Trade unions are frustrated that the state refuses to give them access to any organs of government and will not humor them at all. Henry Dressler, in particular, has begun escalating his anti-government rhetoric with some surprising ideological thoughts baked in. So he might become a radical. We'll let them petition the government, I suppose. That's the worst that could happen. Other than landowners being very upset right now. Okay, so they did not accept the demand outright, but they are fearful. The question is, of course, who would they get joining in there? I don't think they'll be able to join against me, so that's good. And looks like most of the nations aren't really even that close to joining either side. Can I don't suppose... Oh, Sweden. No, they would not really want to join in. I guess Britain joining in would be a fairly easy one. I don't know what I'd give them, though, but I suppose that's beside the point. Maybe Iceland. If they want that. I don't know if they will. Right, so I suppose what I could do is get one of the armies activated. To mobilize. We won't really have much of a fleet yet. So we won't really be able to do landings with that or anything like that. We might be able to force a military access through someone like Mecklenburg to then start fighting the Danes over here in Holstein. Potentially Schleswig as well, to be fair. But they are fearful, so they might still give up. And now that we can, right, we could, if we sway Britain, they got a massive fleet. I suspect that, oh, right, France is not that far from joining the Danes. If the French join in, then we'll bring in Britain. Otherwise, we'll try to keep this one-on-one. But yeah, if we need to fight the French, we will, I don't know if we'll be able to hold against them. But we'll get the British to help, and I suppose, I don't know if the Dutch would help us in this either. We're not going to queue up any more construction right now to make sure that this war is not going to get too expensive, which it probably still will. Did we get maybe a bit better government? We did get the police force thing already, so we'll get the petty bourgeoisie out of the government. So it's not quite as bad legitimacy, even with the higher taxes. That does mean that we lose some of the stuff that we got from the petty bourgeoisie. Ooh, okay. More radicals, that's not great. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. But at the same time, it was a kind of a lose-lose situation. If we kept them in the government, then we'd still have some problems. Okay, so no one is joining the war. That is good. They are still fearful. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and activate another army. We won't really have the fleet to do landings with, but if we can get a... or force a military access through Mecklenburg, for example. I don't know if we will be able to. But I suspect that maybe we will. Except I don't know how. Like, I know that the AI has done that for quite a few times, in fact. Right, let's slow down for a moment. And we'll try to figure this one out. We only got a small fleet, which is not enough to... Actually, how much is the enemy fleet anyway? Oh, actually, we do have a larger fleet than they do. Oh. Let's go ahead and then send this one out. Down to the Danish Straits. I'll give order for you to do raid convoys. At least initially. We're also a little bit over our influence right now because we lost some of the modifiers, I reckon. Not entirely sure which ones are the modifiers, but regardless. I guess we'll stop the relation improve with Oldenburg for now. So we're not losing that one at least. So we do actually have the naval advantage in here. The enemy's got their fleet on that side, which they're probably sinking convoys there. They've got a bit of armies in here. We won't really be able to do effective landings necessarily. We do have the numbers advantage though, so what I suppose I could do is I'm going to go ahead and do an invasion into... I suppose Schleswig-Holstein would probably be the better option. Because that is the goal. We'll put in the small fleet over there, so that's... No, that's actually massive efficiency. No, we're not going to go for that one quite yet. Oh, that's not adjacent to both? Okay. So for wireless sovereignty, there's no option for that right now. Okay then. Alright, so we're losing still a lot of money. Our fleet is still increasing in size. They are sending their fleet over here, which we might be able to defeat. Probably going to be a battle here shortly. Actually, what are they doing in here? They're doing interception. Okay, they've got one frigate. There's our frigate and a capital ship. Yeah, I think we've got a chance of beating them. Assuming that we don't have a massive penalty for having too many... Well, no, that seems to be going quite nicely. Not too many dead or wounded on our side compared to theirs. Well, the question is then, if they got the army over there, that's probably still part of the Denmark HQ. Oh, we've got another flotilla in here active already. It's not in the combat, of course, but that got added in afterwards. Maybe what we should do is we should set up a small army. That is just like 3 battalions. Would that be enough? Probably not. Because we could go for something like Iceland first. But that wouldn't really benefit with the war effort right now. So neither side is really making a lot of advances in here yet. The war support is still fairly high. The capitulation desire is quite tiny. I think our war support is probably going to be going slightly faster than theirs because we've got quite a few radicals right now. Oh yeah, there we go. So the fleet is at least increasing. We could probably use the smaller army to do the landing with. Potentially into Schleswig-Holstein. It might not be easy, but it might be slightly easier. At least right now there would still be, well, it would still be quite massive, well, problems there. let's just say, but it might not be as bad. So how good are you at leading... Oh, open terrain commander. Okay, offensive, that could actually work. So if we were to do invasion into Schleswig-Holstein with you, that would still be quite a hefty penalty. We've got some presence in there at least. But we'll give it a go. We'll probably lose a bit of troops. But that's fine. Like, it's just mainly we want to start putting a bit of pressure on them. I think Holstein's army will not be recovering as quickly as ours will be. So we can go ahead and spend some of that. We are losing quite a bit of money. We might need to increase the taxes to very high. To not lose too much money. Oh, and did we already... Yeah, we got the first combat in here. We got a fairly bad situation. But again, if we can just inflict some casualties on them, we might still win this. Well, not win this battle, but eventually get a landing in there. And of course, the big thing is how quickly is the fleet. So we've got 3 flotillas right now in here. We've got 2 light ships and 1 capital ship in here. I'm guessing we are still hiring quite a bit in here. How quickly are we actually hiring at the naval base? Currently at 1700. It's going to need a lot more than that. It's 1800 now, so yeah, it's slowly increasing. We are definitely going to lose the first battle in here, but the enemy did take quite a bit of casualties in this. Now we're retreating. So the question is, of course, if we took that much casualties, that's a lot of demoralized though, but there's a lot of dead and wounded as well. So we might not be attacking immediately again. Or not at least instantly. Oh, there we go. The construction work is almost done, so we are actually making money right now. I suppose what I could even do, I can reduce the taxes again, just to make sure that the legitimacy is not going to be too low. So we have 1 battle thus far. We're not really going for another battle quite yet, I think. Until the army has recovered for a little while. Yeah, once the morale hits it, 900 again. So how is the enemy army size then? They've still got, okay, they've got 3,000 men there. I think our army has a bit more than that. We've got a good, almost 9,000, so we've got about a 3-to-1 there. Even with the penalties that we have, that might still be enough to continue. Or it might not be. But we haven't gotten any progress there currently. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. There's another battle. They still got 3,000 men versus, we had about 9,000 to begin with. Okay, so I don't think this invasion is really going to go anywhere. Although we could just go... Well, that would be even worse stats, to be fair. We are at least getting their convoys in the process, so that's good. But we're not really doing too much else beyond that. And we didn't actually inflict that much casualties, so I'm going to go ahead and just cancel this invasion for now. Send the troops back, they can recover in there for the moment. We'll probably send the fleet out back to convoy hunting, though. That's actually one thing. You can now just click on the place if you've got the army selected or the fleet selected and click on the either the front or the node for the fleet to go there, so you don't need to try to find them in the list or anything like that. I think what we might want to do though is get a few more flotillas for that fleet. I'm going to go ahead and get another 4 over here in West Prussia of the frigates, and we'll get 1 more man of war over here. So that's going to give us up to 10 flotillas. That should be already enough to do the landing. Of course, it might take a while. We are currently at 90 war support, which is not great. The enemy's war support is much higher than ours. Again, we're just going for the liberation so that we can sort out the Schleswig-Holstein question. Well, technically speaking, I don't know if it will be us because we don't technically speaking control any part of it. Oh, harvest condition. Hailstorm. Oh dear, that's not good. Needs Prussia. Oh yeah. Winter is coming. Right, so we'll just wait on the naval bases to be built and the fleet to increase in size, which is probably going to go fairly quickly. Although we are waiting for a bit more people in here and all that. They also need to hire a lot more. I suppose it might be mostly officers. We need to have a decent bit of officers to be able to then control the servicemen. Or, you know, provide enough stuff for the servicemen. So, yeah, that's going to be taking a little while. But we are getting now, yeah, this 4th flotilla. So now it would be slightly better. Although that army could use a bit of extra time to rest. We could, of course, activate the main army over here. That's full size still. Oh, but that's not upgraded. Oh, hold on a minute. Do we need to upgrade? Yeah, we need to upgrade the cavalry over there. Also upgrade all the cavalry on that one and on this one. We're not going to send any of these out yet. So we'll get those ready and then do another landing. At least attempt to do another landing. Sinking a fair bit of the convoy, so at least they are taking some economic hits over here. Although nothing compared to our costs here, because we've got a lot more troops active. So the military goods cost is much worse for us. I do actually wonder, so they got line infantry in here, that's about it. We've got better infantry, of course, the landings are the problem there. We could try to do a landing in Jutland, but that would be fighting against probably the army. Yeah, that's the Scandinavia HQ, so that's anywhere we land in here, they will have that army. Oh, hello. Private sector is building a furniture manufactory. Well, there we go. That's going to give us a bit more income and all that. So, how is the main army looking like right now? Looks like the troops are ready. We've got the lancers. So let's go and do a invasion. There's still 71% penalty. I'm going to wait until we get at least 50 the flotilla in there, which is probably not that far off. We've got the naval bases all rebuilt. They're slowly hiring in West Prussia and in Pomerania. We are already... I suppose we're getting, what, 3 from there? Oh, what do we have here? Do a promotion. Yeah, you can get a promotion. And the duel between Karl Heinrich von Wolich and Lottum and Leonhard Birnbaum. Okay, so that's the intelligentsia and landowners. I'm gonna probably ban the duel. Well, actually, yeah, we're gonna ban the dueling, just so that we don't lose, you know, good generals and politicians and whatnot to pointless duels. But yeah, we'll just need to get a little bit more manpower in here. Oh, harvest conditions started. Oh, blood in West Prussia. Okay, yeah, that's seemingly pretty bad. How bad is that then? Ooh, 8 months ago. But yeah, that is pretty rough. Pretty rough indeed. So agriculture, ranches, extraction, and plantations throughput is reduced. It's fairly intense currently. But yeah, we still need to get to, like, I think 5 flotillas will be enough to get through there with 14 battalions. It might not be, like, an ideal situation, but I think that's going to be enough to at least get things going. Oh, there we go. Now there's 5. So that 14 battalion army is not ready, but what we could do is we could send this one out. So it's still going to be 64% penalty. But now that we've got the numbers advantage, I think we'll have the benefit of this. Oh, we're going to do another mandate. Alright, let's have a look. So if we go for internal trade level 3, how much is that going to be boost? Convoy costs of port connections. Oh, it's quite handy. And that's about it. There we go. I do see that we won't be, well actually no, what we'll do is we'll wait for at least one battle to be done in here. They are trying to intercept the Navy, of course. We've got such a massive advantage in the numbers there. I think once that battle happens, it's going to be pretty easy combat. Oh, and the first battle has started. We've still got poor visibility, and we've got the numbers advantage, but it's not enough. But I suspect that we are still going to deal a lot of damage to the enemy, and now we don't have quite as bad of a penalty. So even though we are going to probably lose the first combat, I think the second one might be more victorious. The Egyptian-Ottoman crisis. Ottoman Empire's attempt to take back control of the Levant from Egypt has become an international incident, and involvement may tip the balance of power in the region. We're going to keep an eye on the region, so we'll get an interest in Arabia. We won't actually do anything on this, or on the war directly. Okay, so we did reduce the enemy size at least. Oh, surprise maneuver. Hey, more morale damage. So the enemy is definitely taking a lot of damage on this as well. I don't think we'll win the battle. Oh, actually we might. Oh my goodness. There we go, there we go, they're retreating. There we go, that's the first battle and that we won in here. But I do see that we are well out of time for this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also got the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.